Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am Valita Simpson, the Regional Director here at Woodson Regional Library for Chicago Public Libraries. Welcome. When I say Woodson, it is with so much passion and meaning behind it, because Woodson is named after Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history. He was a prolific scholar and made numerous contributions to the study of African American history and culture. Today, we not only serve as a repository of great works that uplift Black stories, but Woodson also serves as a community hub. We create rich programming that listens to and addresses the needs of every population in our community. Some of our most impactful projects include health and nutrition, arts and creativity, and of course, social justice. It makes me proud to do so much work for the community and continue to unveil and share the legacy of Black history. We've done this from the beginning when Woodson opened its doors December 1975 in a two-story building housing the Vivian G. Harsh Research Collection. It is the largest collection of Afro-American history and literature in the Midwest. That's why we are happy to come together at Woodson to announce transformative funding that will make Black history more accessible to the public. And with that being said, I am so excited to introduce the Honorable Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Good morning, everyone. I was thinking as we were driving up here about a moment during the pandemic where I tuned into a book club that was being hosted here at Woodson. And there were a number of people that were in the room, appropriately masked up and social distance, but a lot of other people that were online. And I think that's emblematic of why libraries are so important. They never stop. They continue to open up their doors. And they serve as not just a place where you can check out materials, but a central public square for communities. And I think this is particularly true of a place like Woodson that has such an incredibly important and rich history. Our regional libraries, whether Souls are on the north side, whether it's Legler on the west side, particularly here at Woodson on the south side, have all the same elements as our other libraries. But there's something different and special because of their incredible convening power, because of the equipment that's here, the technology, the larger collections, the staff, that is able to provide a service to communities that is different than any place else. So it's a great honor to be here at Woodson's, and congratulations to Valita and the whole team here. I would also be remiss if I didn't say thank you to our CPL board chair, Linda Johnson Rice. Linda has been a fearless Linda has and will continue to be a fearless advocate for everything about our library system. I can't begin to tell you the tremendous ways in which she has really been such a champion of everything about our library system. And I am so incredibly grateful, Linda, to you for your service to our libraries. I also want to thank the Foundation Board and Brenda for everything that you've done. Our libraries are the gem of our city. 80-something strong, more to come. That's a little hint. But having access to the libraries, again, not just for the collections, but for the technology to be able to research things for students, but also for people that are job seekers, to have safe spaces to go in our communities, particularly for our young people in or out of school time. Our library system is the best in a nation, bar none. And of course, I've got to thank Chris Brown. When I was interviewing him, afterwards I thought, this guy is going to make a huge difference in our libraries. He is smart, he's a thought partner, and he's been tremendous in the work that we've done through COVID, but also as we head out of COVID to make sure that we break down the walls and the silos that have separated us for far too long. The partnership that Commissioner Brown has forged with Chicago Public Schools, with our parks, and also, of course, across city government with the mayor's office, the Department of Family and Support Services. The libraries are an integral part of the work that we are doing to build healthy, strong, and vibrant communities. And Commissioner Brown, I just want to thank you for everything that you've done. So that brings us to today's exciting announcement. We are honored to be receiving a historic $2 million grant from the Mellon Foundation to power the Renaissance Project, which supports access to Black history-related archives across our library system. This transformational funding will allow the library to digitize and process critical documents related to Black history, all the way back from the 1800s to now. With this initiative, CPL will build upon the long tradition of highlighting the work of people of all races, ethnicities, identities, and cultural backgrounds. An example of that tradition is, as Director Simpson indicated, the Vivian Harsh Research Collection, the largest collection of African American history and literature in the Midwest, built in 1932 under the leadership of CPL's first Black librarian and branch director, Vivian G. Harsh. That collection is located right here at the Woodson Regional Library. The Renaissance Project will ensure histories like these are shared and accessed throughout our library branches. By continuing to amplify marginalized voices, shine a light on history, and share previously untold stories of CPL, this library system is enabling us to continue to learn, to grow, and heal as a city. And whereas other cities and libraries across the country are banning books and restricting education, shamefully restricting education around Black history, in Chicago, we emphatically celebrate that history and champion our residents' fundamental right to read and learn about who we are, where we have been, and importantly, where we are headed. It goes without saying, but I will say it. Black history is American history. And that must be acknowledged and understood if we are going to create a city where a person's identity does not determine their access to learning and opportunity. And as part of this multi-year initiative, CPL will also partner with educators connected to the Illinois State Board of Education's Inclusive American History Commission to create new open source curricula and tools and inform the teaching of Black history in our schools. This initiative has the power to not only promote racial healing and racial justice in our city, but across our state. Chicago has been and will continue to be a leader to open up opportunities in innovation across the entire state of Illinois. And as you know, one of my top priorities has been to make Chicago a more equitable place to live and work. And I'm pleased to see this initiative bring us that much closer to realizing this mission. I want to thank the Mellon Foundation for their incredible support of the Chicago Public Library and our commitment to equity. And I want to acknowledge one of the most successful public-private partnerships in the city between the Chicago Public Library and the Chicago Library Foundation, who continue to work together and make Chicago a beacon of learning and inclusivity. I also would be remiss if I didn't also say a special thank you and shout out to my wife, Amy Eshelman, the First Lady of our city. Amy spent almost 20 years working at Chicago Public Library and really helped me, with former Commissioner Mary Dempsey, understand the power and magic of libraries. I was a kid who had 2 libraries in the small town that I grew up in. I walked to the branch near my home. Very small library, didn't have a very large collection. But through my association with my lovely wife and her commitment to the libraries and our young people, I've come to understand the importance of the library system to the ecosystem of our city. So thank you all, and with that I'd like to welcome Commissioner Brown to say a few words. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Mayor, for that introduction. As our mayor mentioned, libraries are at the heart of every community with unwavering belief in equal access and opportunity. And we support Chicagoans in every neighborhood with stories and histories that help us make sense of the present and inspire us with moments of pride. And while we are present in every neighborhood, we also know we support students and researchers well beyond Chicago. Today, with these values in mind, as the mayor mentioned, we're thrilled to announce this truly groundbreaking launch of the Renaissance Project. As she mentioned, this project is aimed at providing increased access to Black history-related archives across library locations in Chicago and online. It's made possible by a historic $2 million grant from the Mellon Foundation. Yes. Importantly, this is the second largest grant ever received by our Chicago Public Library Foundation, and the largest ever received by our Special Collections Department. This grant presents us with an unprecedented opportunity to make significant progress in areas of collection development, literacy, digital access, and most importantly, diverse collections. These are all parts of our library strategic plan, and we owe an immense debt of gratitude to our Chicago Public Library Foundation and the Mellon Foundation for making this initiative possible. Through the Renaissance Project, we'll have additional resources to curate and share our Black history-related collections more widely. Our dedicated staff will process and digitize critical documents, as the mayor mentioned, from the 1800s to today. This is 1,600 linear feet, hundreds of images. We'll offer public programming at library branches and share stories and implications of Black history milestones and important figures. Furthermore, we'll partner with educators across the state using these collections to support Black history and inquiry-based learning in public, secondary, and post-secondary schools in Illinois. This is a transformational moment for Chicago and our Chicago Public Library that represents the power of our partnership with the Foundation to really expand access to information and resources and to uplift voices in our community. We will continue to work collaboratively and boldly towards building a more equitable Chicago with stories and histories and initiatives. I'd like to take a moment to thank our Foundation Chairman, Bob Wislow, our President, Brenda Langstrap-Bowie, for their leadership and their commitment to making this work possible. Thank you also to Library Foundation's Kate Narden, Chief Development Officer, for her hard work in securing this $2 million. And lastly, a big thank you to Stacy Williams, our library's Division Chief of Archives and Special Collections, for her vision and for the implementation of the Renaissance Project. This is an exciting moment for Chicago Public Library, and we look forward to making a lasting impact through the Renaissance Project. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Chicago Public Library's Board President, Linda Johnson-Rice.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate that. And thank you, Mayor Lightfoot, for those wonderful words. You kept me in this position, and I've loved every minute of it. It's been incredibly, yeah, I'm supposed to say that. No, it's been incredibly rewarding for me, so I do appreciate that. And it is wonderful that we've gotten this, this wonderful grant from the Mellon Foundation, and I in turn want to send my thanks also to Bob Wislow and Michael Fastnot and Brenda Langstrat from the foundation, because you all really came together and put this together, so that really was incredible. So thank you so much for that. And you know, libraries really are a place of outreach, but they're also a place of introspection. And so to be able to come here and to visit the Vivian Harsh collection and to know that it's going to be augmented by this incredible grant is really a wonderful thing. It's wonderful not only for the community, but for the city of Chicago, so that everybody can come here and learn about Black history and learn about our history. And yes, I'm going to stand here and say I know a little bit about Black history, especially Black history in Chicago. So I really think this is an incredible opportunity for everyone in the city. And just on a personal note, I understand that the papers from Doris E. Saunders, who was a librarian at the Hall branch, who actually ended up being head of our library and head of our book division at Johnson Publishing Company, her papers are going to be residing here as well. So it is really sort of a full circle moment. It is a full circle moment for me, and I just want to say thank you so much to everyone, and on behalf of the board, we're all so excited and so thrilled about this. So, you know, everybody come in here and take advantage. There's wonderful scholarly pursuits, or just out of curiosity, and just to learn and to grow. And I'm so glad that this is all here. It's very, very exciting. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce Dr. Asef Wilson, who is the Assistant Professor of Curriculum and Instruction at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. I can't believe I got that all out. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Library Board President Linda Johnson-Rice. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone today. You know, for those that don't know, the revised Illinois State Learning Standards for Social Studies instruction have created a need for access to primary and secondary resources that tell this city's rich history, her stories, and their stories. This funding is going to create crucial instructional tools for all of Chicago's educators to meet the requirements of the revised learning standards, while also creating learning experiences that all Chicagoans deserve. I'm proud to live and support teachers in a city with such rich archival resources. This opportunity will support access to those resources, and more importantly, given my work, getting those resources into schools where young people can learn about them, to not only look back towards the past, but as Mayor Lightfoot alluded to, imagine the future. Thank you all.
Hi, we will conclude the press conference. There will be no Q&A. You can have food or refreshments are to the side, and then we also have an exhibit that you can visit if you have not done so already. Thank you.